Well, you kind of pretty much summed up my opinion on the whole thing, except I'm of a different mindset whenever I go into games. I never try to see myself as the protagonist, even whenever it is the point, even in Dragon Age, where you can pretty much make the character you. Straight up you. I always end up making separate characters, like I would in a story, and fleshing them out separately to me. So I never really even put in myself in the game, even whenever it's intended. I mean, even the Pokemon trainers I played have separate personalities.
Yeah, I do agree. There is some fun in doing it that way. I mean, just recently I've acquired Mass Effect for the PC, and I admit I've been having fun doing exactly the same thing of creating two different versions of Shepard and then just making personalities. Like, I currently have one female who took herself up the street and drives to be a greater person, and one cynical soul survivor male who's become a little bit aggressive towards authority. That's...
Oh man, that sounds fun. Yeah, Mass Effect does that to you.
Yeah. Although admittedly I've been playing with a female more than a male, but that's another topic for another day, but...
Yeah. Oh, guys, you remember me saying that I play better with females than males in these games? Guess what? Jonin and I have more in common than you'd think.
Sigh. Anyway, yeah, I think that's the best way to sum it up. It has potential to work, it's just that me and Sven don't really like doing that with our characters. We prefer to make up characters before we pretend that we are them. I think actually the best quote to end with is Yahtzee, because I admit I don't agree with him all the time, but Yahtzee does actually come up with some very insightful little tidbits, and one of the things he says is, the person you are in games is very rarely the person you are in real life.
And I could not agree with you, Morris. You're a, admittedly, very amateur writer like me, and have the same mindset as me in that I create characters like mass production lines create Twinkies.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's probably our writer's instinct kicking in for that one. And that is all the questions we have for this week. Like I said at the beginning, if you want to send us your own questions, do it via PMs or comments. This is where we normally do a big review of something, usually a game we've played in the past month, but the only game I've really played is Mass Effect, but I've only been able to play about the first hour or so of it, and Sven, you said you've only been able to rent one game, which you'll be saving for Quickfire, right?
Yeah, it's a funny thing about that. I said last broadcast that I was going to do Red Dead Redemption for this. Problem is, I rented that last month, and I can't exactly keep a rental for a month straight to keep my thoughts going on it. I kind of forgotten where I was going to go with that.
So yeah, with that in mind, the only full review you'll be getting this month is movies. This won't be the longest full review I've ever done on this broadcast, but it's something I have to bring up because very recently I picked up two movies, one of which I'll get onto in the quickfire reviews, but that was one review I just had to talk about because, oh man, words cannot describe the feelings I had for this. It is a film called The Storm Warriors. It is essentially a kung fu movie based on what they call wuxia, which is essentially superpowers. So it's kind of like a live-action anime with amazing effects, and it even has a live-action anime opening. It has like a cheesy rock song and all the characters standing in dramatic poses and everything.
Wow. Real-life anime opening. Now there's something I haven't imagined before.
Yeah, it does look pretty awesome, and then, the rest of the film. The rest of the film. Dear God, that was some of the worst crap I've ever had to watch in my entire life. Oh, God.
You okay?
Sorry, the bad memories of the film keep coming back, but yeah, this is one of the very few times I've actually come out of watching a film feeling underwhelmed and with a sour taste in my mouth.
Wow. So, let me get this straight. You basically came out of that movie feeling like you'd had your eyes violated.
Pretty much, although actually, it's not pretty much my eyes that was violated, it was more my brain. It was just, okay, I should probably try and explain something about this film. The plot of the film is essentially this. I found out, sadly a little too late, that it is in fact a sequel to a film known as The Storm Riders. Unfortunately, it was not available in Western territories, so it was absolutely impossible to see the first one, but whatever. The point is, it's a sequel to that movie. Essentially, there's this super-powered apparently Japanese warlord who is attempting to take over China using his superpowers and a poison that makes certain martial artists weak and invincibility water shield thing. It's not really explained. And this swordmaster named Nameless and his two students, Wind and Cloud, no seriously.
Oh, wow, lots of originality going into the name. Square Enix would be proud.
Yeah, there's a girl called Second Dream who appears in the movie. And no, I don't know why she's called that.
Oh my god, even Square Enix with facepalm.
So, essentially, Nameless has been weakened by this poison, and it is now up to Wind and Cloud to train up in the sword arts to become even stronger warriors so they can defeat the evil Emperor. Unfortunately, one of them decides to use the evil energy to increase his power, so the Emperor in fact becomes incidental and it turns into a fight between Evil Wind and Cloud. And that's the film. But that does not begin to describe how much of a convoluted, twisted, unsatisfying plot this is.
Well, already it's starting to sound like what Naruto would be if it was nothing but the main character in Sasuke, so I am already a bit biased.
Yeah, to be honest, it's pretty god-awful. I mean, the plot reminded me of Quantum of Solace. It was that bad. It was just convoluted with so many ridiculously pointless elements that would just come out of nowhere in the most contrived manner possible. I mean, the whole training thing was ridiculous. Just an example of how bad this plot is. At the start of the movie, Nameless says, "Okay, I'm a little weak. Wind Cloud, you go and meet Lord Wicked. He will tell you how to increase your power so that you can defeat the Emperor and stop him from taking over China." The two go to this cave and meet Lord Wicked, and then he does this test where he flint eggs at them and then he grab them from the air, and then he goes, "Wind, you have not crushed the eggs and you've proven that you can control your power, so you go and get the evil energy. Cloud, you stay behind." And then Cloud then gets contacted by Nameless whilst Wind is absorbing the evil energy. And then Nameless suddenly says, "Okay, I am going to give you my power now, and we'll now go through this training montage." So they go through this training montage, and then Cloud just comes out of it and saying, it is amazing. You've been able to come up with 23 new sword styles in such a short time. And I was just staring at the screen thinking, so if they could just invent their own sword styles and have training from their master, then allow me to ask one small question. What's the point of making one of them evil in a plan that could obviously backfire in so many ways?
Well, I'm trying to find a way to be nice to that plot, but I guess if you're creative, you could say the old master was some sort of Kisuke Urahara sort, and this was all part of his plan, but I think that would require intelligent writing staff, to quote you in the Mirror's Edge VGT.
Jeez. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. I mean, for crying out loud, Lord Wicked himself, the guy who tossed the evil energy, he was so grieved by the fact that he'd lost control and started killing innocent people that he cut off his own arms. That's just how badly the evil energy could go wrong, and yet they still go ahead of it. I don't...
Oh my god.
That's just focusing on Wind and Cloud. That's not bringing up the pointless elements that keep being tossed in, like the Emperor and the secret to a dragon bone, which somehow allows you to conquer China, even though it's never explained how or why or what the hell it is. These ridiculous battles, and oh, that is another thing I've got to say. The special effects look amazing, but the actual fight choreography? Bloody atrocious! And speaking as a fan of both martial arts and martial arts films, I have never seen such terrible fight choreography in my life. It's not that the two actors don't know the art of the martial arts look bad or anything, but it is shot terribly. I've no idea why some filmmakers feel that the audience will fit it if they stay in one shot for long enough. There's constantly cutting to extreme close-ups, which is the last thing you want in a bloody fight sequence, because it means you can't actually see who's punching who, what's connected. I just stare at these endless fight sequences that go on forever, and you have absolutely no idea who's winning, and it's just...
That's... I ask if you're okay, but if you're not, I fully understand it.
Sorry, I kind of rambled on for a bit there, but this movie, I'm not exaggerating here, it is one of the most unsatisfying experiences I have ever sat through. I find it incredibly disappointing because, like I said, visually it looks amazing, but just the plot, the really bad writing, just the pacing, the fighting choreography in general is terrible, and that's not good news since the entire third act is an overly long battle between Wind and Cloud, but because of the bad writing, I honestly didn't give two whether or not Wind would come back to the good side or not. I mean, admittedly there's one interesting twist at the end, which I liked plot-wise, but otherwise it was just downright terrible. I cannot even recommend it on a so bad it's good basis. I can only recommend that you stay the flying fuck away from it.
Wow, so basically, it's worse than Street Fighter.
Yes.
Wow, I don't know if that's worthy of congratulations, but...
Yeah, I mean, Street Fighter, at least you have the Hammer Roll Jr. to celebrate. This doesn't have anything like that at all.
Wow, admittedly I'm not into martial arts films, but even if I was, I would not touch this with a 5-foot pole.
I'm sorry that sounded like an incomprehensible angry ramble, but yeah, the point is, do not pick this up. Whatever you do, do not pick this up. I mean, yeah, maybe stare at a few screenshots so you can appreciate how pretty it looks, but yeah, do not pick this movie up. And on that note...
On that obviously so upbeat and happy note.
Yeah, we shall now move on to...
Q&A!
Oh, no, wait. Anger's created a time paradox.
Oh my god, your rage is so strong. You have actually reversed time a la the TARDIS. You are officially the new Broly.
Oh, jeez.